So can y'all hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone today to our very first Career Corners with Auburn High School, hosted by myself, Audrey Marshall, and Amy Hanna. We have with us today Dr. Larry DiChiara, who is coming to us from 2A USA to talk with us about manufacturing your careers and some options for our students in Auburn for that. He has been 10 years as a special education teacher. I'm going to go down a little bit of his resume just so you all in the audience there will know that he is a person who's an educator and has switched careers on us and now has really great experience here with us today. So without much further ado, I'm going to talk to you about, not further ado, but I want to introduce to you Dr. Larry DiChiara, who is the HR manager with 2A USA, and he is going to present to us today about manufacturing careers in Auburn, 2A USA. And Dr. DiChiara, you're welcome to start.
All right. Thank you, Audrey. Anytime I get a chance to talk to students or get a chance to talk to teachers or anybody about careers, I usually jump at those opportunities because I've had a pretty long one. I took an unusual route to where I'm at today. I spent 35 years in education as a special education teacher, a coach, a principal, a central office administrator, and then a school superintendent. After I finished, I was just consulting with the State Department of Education, helping school districts that were struggling and evaluating superintendents and doing leadership training and a variety of things. And just out of the blue, the gentleman with the Economic Development Department ran into me one day and said, "Have you ever thought about HR?" Because he knew my background. And so he told me that 2A had an opening and needed an HR guy. They needed a plant manager. They needed a variety of things. And so next thing you know, I ended up here, and I was pretty new at this. I mean, education, we have a lot of acronyms, but in this world, manufacturing, they have a lot too. And I've had to kind of learn those. But what I'm going to be able to share with you today is from a perspective that you probably have. And that is, when I sat in this chair, I didn't know anything about manufacturing. Right now, you're out there in the schools and probably don't know a whole lot about it as well. So it was a learning curve for me, but I just dove into it. So what I tried to do today is put together just some photos and some things that y'all have been inquiring about. And I'm just going to go through those photos and those slides and talk to you as I do it. And then that way, maybe you'll have a better understanding of it than what I did when I first got into it. So if I can do this properly, I'm going to try to share my screen with you. All right. Hopefully, Audrey, everybody will be able to see this. Can y'all see this okay? Okay. This is just kind of an introduction to our company here. It's 2A USA. We're an Italian die-cast and machining company. We run 3 shifts here, 6 a.m. to 2 and 2 p.m. to 10 and then 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. There's our address and phone number. Part of the reason I added that was because Ms. Marshall said that this was going to be recorded and that y'all could use this later, the information. Now let's see if I can figure out how to make it go to the next slide. Let's see. There we go. Okay, just real quick, I'm going to go through this real quick. On the left-hand side, you see this stack of aluminum ingots, and that's where the process starts. We take those, and in that middle picture, we lift those heavy ingots up and put them in that big furnace, and that furnace is really hot and melts them. And once it's in liquid form, we take a forklift and take that melted liquid aluminum over to the die-cast machine, which you see over there on the right, and we put it into a holding furnace. Then a robot reaches down and scoops up the liquid metal and pours it and injects it into a mold. And the mold is in the form of a part. For example, I don't know if you can see this or not.
DiChiara, may I interrupt you for just a second?
Yeah.
I don't think the slide's going for us just a little bit. So may want to, we only see the first slide 2A.
You can choose to go up and down through the slides on your own.
So it didn't go to the second slide on y'all's end?
No, but on the side of the screen.
All right, let's try this. So it didn't go to the next page on y'all's end?
There's
No, sir, it didn't.
selector on the left that you can choose to go up and down on the slide.
Yes, I just went to slide number 2, and it did. I'm seeing it on my end, but you guys are not seeing it on your end.
No.
You can choose what slide we look at independent of which slide you're looking.
Jake, hold on just a second.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. DiChiara, it's probably what's happening is you're not sharing the entire application. It may have just been that one screen. But you can talk us through it since we're kind of...
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'll do.
Okay.
And then basically what happens is I'm going to go and just go down to the last. The good thing is I can share this with y'all later.
Okay.
Once the part is formed, we then take that part and we machine it. We take that over to the machine department and they machine it. And then we have quality inspectors that take a look at it to make sure it's meeting all the specifications it needs. Then we send it to logistics, we pack it up, and then we ship it out to the customer. So that's basically the steps that we take. There's all kind of tiny steps in between, and that's where you guys come in because it all starts with that first stack of aluminum ingots that if we do not have the people that know what to do with that block of aluminum and then take it from step to step to step, it's like a team effort. Because if we screw up anywhere along the way, then that part's not going to be formed. And that's going to hurt us going forward because customers will drop you and they won't allow you to do their work anymore. One of the things that I did, I looked at the questions that a lot of you asked, and I tried to put it on these slides, but since you guys can't see the slide, I'm just going to kind of go through it, and I'll go through it quickly just so you can hear it. We have right now 85 employees. We give great benefits, and our hourly wage goes from $11 an hour to about $36 an hour, and that's for our hourly employees. Our salaries range from $42,000 a year to $90,000 a year. And that does not include our plant manager. That's people below the plant manager. What surprised me about this company, because I had never been in a manufacturing setting before, I could not believe how many people worked in a manufacturing setting like this with higher degrees, like besides diplomas. I mean, I've got here mechanical engineers, and I've got people with associate degrees. I've got people with master's degrees, and as well as doctorates. We have one young lady that she got her associate's degree at Central Alabama Community College, and she started out as a welder, and then she became what's called a setupper. And then after she did that, she became the manager of the entire CNC department. We're very proud of her. But I'm going to go down just some of the jobs here that you guys might be interested in that you may not have realized that existed. For example, human resources, which is what I do in my generalist. The salary range for most human resource managers can go from $45,000 a year to $85,000 a year. A lot of times it just depends on how big the company is. We have accountants and bookkeepers here, and their salaries range from $45,000 to $90,000. Automation engineers, those are people that do the controls and the mechatronics. They make anywhere from 70 to 80,000 a year. And then we talked about those people that do the packing and the shipping and the logistics. They can make anywhere from $45 to $70,000 a year. Now, I'm not just pulling these numbers out of the air, by the way. These are people that actually work here and what they actually make. We also have a need for quality inspectors. These are the people that know how to measure and they know how to look at the parts and know if it is built to the specifications it's supposed to. And those folks make anywhere from $45,000 a year to $80,000 a year. We also have commercial and product engineers. These are the people that know the product. They go get us the customers. They bring those customers in, and they make anywhere from $60,000 to $75,000 a year. We also have multi-craft maintenance, and these are not just people that turn a screwdriver. These are people that have to understand PLCs and hydraulics and a variety of things, and they make anywhere from $50,000 to $70,000 a year. One thing you have to do too, our company provides about 3/4 of your benefits, so you need to add another $12,000 on top of that salary amount, because that's what we kick in for your medical expenses, your 401ks, your life insurance, and so forth. So whatever salary I give you, add about $12,000 to that. We also have production managers. They're the ones that manage the die casting and the CNC machining. They make anywhere from $54,000 to $80,000 a year. All those tool and dies that form the parts when you pour the liquid metal in it, those have to be maintained. And our tool and die maintenance people make anywhere between $52,000 and $59,000 a year. And then we have shift leaders. Those shift leaders make between $45,000 and $50,000. Then we have metal pourers. Those are the people that manage the furnaces. They're the ones that have the forklifts that lift up the metal and pour it into the holding furnaces. They make anywhere from $41,000 to $46,000 a year. Excuse me. Setuppers are people that change out the molds in the die cast machines. They make anywhere from $37,000 to $50,000. And then we have machine operators. They make anywhere from $23,000 to $40,000 a year, just depending on how long they've been here. And just to compare that, a beginning teacher's salary in Alabama is around $40,800. So you have the ability to make at or above what a teacher makes if you were to choose this for a profession. Right now, what our biggest needs are when you're thinking about out there, what do I want to pursue as a student? If I were in your shoes, I would pursue a lot of career tech classes and learn as much electrical and automation about robotics and PLCs as you can, because there's a huge need out there for people with those skills, whether you have a college degree or not. We look for quality technicians who know how to measure, do math, and pay attention to detail. The tool and die people, they need to know how to run lathes and welding and grinding. You get all that in your career tech program. And then I mentioned earlier about the multi-craft maintenance. Those people are especially valuable to us if they have an emphasis or a background in electrical or controls. And also one of the most important areas, and we don't have enough personnel out there to fill positions, we need EHS personnel. That stands for Environmental Health and Safety. People that pursue that are the ones that work in these plants to make sure that people remain safe, that the conditions are healthy and safe, and we're not doing anything to hurt the environment. Right now, that's a huge need that a lot of companies in Alabama, I know, need, and we're one of those people. So that's just the slides. I'm gonna try to stop sharing those now and get back to the screen to be able to answer any questions that anybody may have. I do know that I received some questions, and let me hit those just real quick. Somebody asked the question, if I regret going to manufacturing. No, because after I did my education career, this has been a really fun career, second career. I've really enjoyed, I mean, people are people, so whether I'm dealing with them in a school district or dealing with them in a plant, it's all the same. People are the same. One question was what courses would best help me pursue a career in this field? I mentioned it earlier. Take career tech courses, especially the ones that have to do with robotics, welding, controls, those kind of things. But there's another one too that I'd recommend, and that is public speaking. You want to be able to communicate your ideas. And the better you can do that, the better you can sell yourself, or the better you can sell your idea, you'll be more successful if you work in a commercial department where you're trying to sell our goods and you can articulate it, in a reasonable way. So any other questions? I went through that really fast. I'm going to take a sip while y'all think about that.
And Dr. DiChiara is talking about some of the courses you can take. We've got Mr. Mike Rogan with us also here today, and he is the teacher that are teaching some of the skill sets that will be needed in a place like 2A USA, along with many of our other career tech classes. So while you're taking that sip, I'll go ahead and let you start back up, Dr. DiChiara.
Audrey, Ms. Marshall, one thing that I'll say too, that we've had, at least a dozen or more people here that have graduated from Auburn High, and most of them were excellent workers, and some of them are still here today. As a matter of fact, one of their classmates is back there working right now, and we're real proud of him. But one thing that I'll say about any student that comes to us straight from high school, the number one issue that we have with those students is getting here on time, showing up every day for work. If they do that, they've won half the battle. And I'm proud of the ones that have come through already, especially from Auburn High. They've done a good job, and some of them are still with us. Some of the folks that didn't do those things aren't with us anymore because we got to have people that we can rely on. But there's some here that want to pursue more than just being a machine operator. And so we are guiding them into what courses to take at the community college level. And we hope they'll come back and pursue some of these even higher paid jobs that I didn't even know existed when I first got into this manufacturing world. Any other questions? Turn your volume on, Ms. Marshall.
Okay.
Okay, there you are.
All righty then. Well, we want to thank you all for joining us today. We said that we were going to stop at 2 o'clock. I think we've got just a couple of other questions. And I would also like to see if Ms. Hannah has anything that she would like to add to that as our career coach. And again, we thank you all for joining us today. Today was a really great kickoff with Dr. DiChiara, and we're very, very thankful that he decided to join us today and came to join us along with the rest of you. And Ms. Hannah, if you've got anything that you'd like to add, we'd love to have you to unmute your mic and say something there for us.
Dr. DiChiara, thank you again for joining us. I see a lot of kids each day who already at the high school level think about things like work-life balance. Can you address that a little bit? And how can you, how does 2A USA attract, students to come to work and incorporate that work-life balance at an early point in the career?
I love that question because we talk about it here all the time, especially with the people in our, what I call the central office, the administrative side. We talk about the importance of having that balance. Where we really try to work with our people that work out on the floor is we really try to accommodate them when it comes to the shift they work. Because I tell everybody all the time, if I was working out on the floor, I'd want to work third shift. And the reason I would want to is because that's from 10 at night until 6 in the morning. And then my kids would be asleep while I was at work. And I'd be able to be there to help put them to sleep before I go to work. And I'd be there in the morning to help get them ready for school. And I'd have time to go talk to the teachers if I need to, go to their ball games and so forth. So we are always trying to accommodate our workers so that they can do that. And we work hard trying to do that because we know the importance. I had one gentleman that he had been working second shift, which is 2 p.m. till 10 at night. And he used to talk with great pride about his son, who was a really good football player. And I asked him, I said, how often do you get to watch him play football on Friday nights? He said, never. And so we worked really hard to shift him to a different shift because it was important to me for him to be able to see his son participate in a sport that he was good at, that his dad was proud of. And that's how you help achieve that balance. It's not easy. Some of these people working here work 2 different jobs, and I don't know how they do it. That means they put 16 hours in a 24-hour day working. So how they get their sleep and still take care of kids and stuff is just really tough. And I have great admiration for those people. And so yeah, it's important.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mike or somebody asked a question on the screen about are we part of the work development board or something?
Mr. Brogan?
Actually, Audrey, it's a question about, is 2A part of our work-based learning program at the high school? It's in the chat.
Okay, thank you. And I haven't checked that chat. Thank you for saying that. We do not have a student that is actually in our program that is working with 2A USA, but we do have a student who is working at 2A USA that is an Auburn High School student. And we all know now with all the stuff going on with COVID and schedules are a lot different than they used to be. So it's allowing an opportunity for one of our young people here to work there. He is not in the program right now, but we're hoping to grab him on in. We had talked with Dr. DiChiara last year. We've been talking to him for a while about getting a student out there, and we have had a couple that have been there earlier in the year. But like I said, there's a lot of things that are going on, but we do hope to establish that partnership that we have got a steady student out there like we do in so many other places in our program for our students.
Before COVID, we had an Auburn student that came to work after he left classes, and he was awesome. And once the COVID hit and we had to close down for a few weeks, his parents wouldn't let him come back because they were concerned about him catching it. And we've been real fortunate here that we've only had 2 people get it since February. And we've been very fortunate. It didn't shut us down or anything. We took precautions. We do every day. Every day we check people's temperatures and we mask them up. They don't have to wear a mask when they're at their machine, but anytime they're around people, we make them put the mask on. We check their temperature. They have to fill out a checklist. So we still take a lot of precautions, but we lost a really good Auburn student because of that. Any other questions?
All right. Well, we are going. Mr. Rogan, did you have something? Okay, you're leaning in. Okay, no. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and close our session because we do know that we are about to close for this particular period. But we want to again thank you, Dr. DiChiara, for spending this time with us today, and we appreciate you so very much, and look forward to all of those of you who have joined with us to come back and talk with us, or Dr. DiChiara at 2A USA about.
Audrey, we lost your volume, Audrey, but let me say this. If any of the students have any more questions, you've got my email address. You can make sure they have that. If they want me to send them an application, I'll be glad to do that. Or if they just want to come by and pick one up, I'll be glad to do that as well.
Okay. And I didn't unmute myself, but thank you all for joining us today. And thank you again, Dr. DiChiara. And we hope that you all have a wonderful afternoon, and join us next week for Career Corner. We will have Mr. Stan Arrington and Dr. Klein on with us for the Aqua Science program. Thank you all, and sign off.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.